here from Daytona in the Giggity Cup Series is we now have, we've dropped Pro Wrangler. He's going to step out of the booth, but we have two new people stepping in as we've also lost Taddy. He's got to go get ready for his duel. Welcome Fluffy and Maddie into the booth.
What's going on, guys?
As we're going to have yet another 40-lap duel here, 3 times wear. No stages, cautions obviously are going to be on. We're going to do one quick roll through of the starting lineup here. Qualifying on the outside pole in the 4 machine is a Big Destroyer. We saw Stuart Haas get a 1-2 in duel number 1, and they're going to be starting 1, 3, and 2. 1, 2, and 3 right now, as of right now. Starting second on the outside lane is going to be the 19 of Ghost 17. Starting third is going to be the 21 of FL Driver. Starting fourth is going to be the 48 of RKM. And starting eighth is going to be Kevin Macy. He's filling in. He's going to be in the 8th machine on the 5th spot. And the 41 is going to be Go With The Flow, 15. He's going to try to get up there and make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 start for Stuart Haas. And the 11 machine is going to be TKO Racing, and the 2 is going to be RJ Smitty, and the 12 is going to be Taddy, and rounding out the field of duel number 2 is going to be the number 9 of Marty. So, those drivers being said, guys, who do you think is going to come out with duel number 2? We saw duel number 1, very interesting. Those, you two being in it. What line do you think is going to be the fastest, and who do you think is going to come out on top?
Well, I think the line is going to probably be the inside, but you could work on the outside if you get enough people on the outside to work with. So it could be kind of both kind of lane difference here. Especially with restrictor plates, you can run high and low, but if you get enough cars to go with you on the high side, you could run the high side or the low side. So it's all of everybody's preference of where everybody's going to be at. But yeah, it's going to be a both kind of lane situation here.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, if you can get enough guys in the line, that outside line can make moves. You just gotta form it right and just stay nice and fair with it.
And one thing I think I'm going to look forward to is, I mean, the teams really played a factor there. I mean, Fluffy, you're not exactly on a team, but I mean you are on a team, but your teammate wasn't there. But you had AK Racing, who obviously you and him very good friends from what we've seen beforehand, and you two working very well together. You both were up there in the top 5 for quite a while. Towards the end, when you weren't there, he kind of faded a little bit, didn't get as much help as he needed. So I feel like teammates and chemistry are going to play quite the factor here, and I think the Stuart Haas cards might bring home another one too.
Most definitely. Teamwork here is very critical. Not only that, but strategy. You gotta know your strategy very well, and it's gonna come down to a lot of teamwork, strategy, and being very critical on what you do. So you might see a lot of guys be aggressive. You might not see a lot of guys be aggressive. A lot of these guys may conserve, maybe kind of playing it safe for maybe the majority of half the race, and then it's go time with 10 to go. So I think with 10 to go, these guys are going to get bunched up, and we're going to see some really good racing here tonight. So hopefully, it's going to be a good deal for sure.
And before we get started here, go ahead.
I was just saying, I agree. I mean, I think these guys, I wouldn't be one bit surprised to see a single file line for X amount of laps, but then once it's go time, things will start getting crazy.
Most definitely, because I mean, that's what the first duel, I ran in. Everybody was single file, everybody was kind of just getting the feel for it, and then go time was about 10:05 to go. So I mean, like I said, it can, or you may never know. Maybe somebody wants to get out front and kind of play some strategy a little bit, but we'll just have to see.
And before we get going here, who do you guys think is going to be your pick to win? I mean, me right now, based off of who I see in this lineup and who I know from racing with beforehand, obviously, I'm a relatively new person. Literally, Duel 1 was the first race I commentated, but picking up on a lot of who's quicker and who's not. But I wasn't able to see anybody from Duel 2 other than one person that I've raced with before, and I think FL Driver is going to come out with this Duel win. Pretty quick guy. Obviously, I mean, if he can start third in Duel 2, he's got to be pretty fast.
Yeah, I agree. FL, I think he'd be one to watch. I'm also kind of interested to see on what that 12 and that 9 car do, being at the back. I know those guys, I've raced with them quite a few times. So I was going to be interested to see what those two do starting in the back.
Most definitely. My picks are kind of the same. I've ran with FL before. Very talented, very conservative driver. A little bit of aggression there, but I'm pretty sure everybody that has is a driver would kind of know that feeling as well, being aggression and stuff like that. So FL, yeah, he's going to be a contender to watch tonight, as well as Sawyer. He's very quick, and he's also very well, basically the same way as FL. So I mean, there are some guys in there that have really good talent, and they're very conservative what they do. So, we'll have to just see, and hopefully, we'll get some good action here tonight, guys.
So let me know when all of you guys are in here, and once you are, we can go ahead and roll this thing up. All right, there's Maddie. Waiting on one more here. There we go. All right. So let's get in here. Duel 2, get ready to get underway. 1 pace lap, as was said before Duel 1. Let everybody get in their line and their spots. And we're going to see what Big D is going to choose for his for starting lane. So something that we saw with Duel 1, Cody, you were right there behind it. The 10 let the 14 down. The 14 chose the high line. That way they could get in and slot in.
Yeah.
Took advantage of that. So I don't think that's going to play a factor here because Big D doesn't have a teammate beside him. His teammate is actually going to be starting pretty deep, going to be starting 6th. So quite a difference in Big D's starting spot and go with the flow. So definitely going to play a factor as we see just now starting to get in there. There's a 12 machine.
Definitely, like I said, I mean, that's just all with team strategy, maybe it's a restart, maybe the start of the race, they just let that guy in front of you and they just work together. So, I mean, it's a little bit different here for some of these guys. Some have teammates, some don't. But come next week, I think it's going to be it's going to be a different story for sure. So, yeah, most definitely, it's going to be a team strategy kind of thing for most of these guys. Oh yeah, it's gut check time at that point. You got buddies around that'll help you with about 60, 70 laps to go. But when it's 10 laps to go, I mean, it's every man for himself. But.
And as we get closer and closer to dropping the green flag here in Duel 2, Big D on the inside, Ghost on the outside, and as they're gonna get right there, Giggity, no, are we not there yet? Oh no, we are. Giggity, we're green.
Yeah, they're going.
Took a little bit longer than expected, but
got a huge jump off the stop.
As Big D and FL Driver going to be the first two to get out there to a 1-2, as they're not settled out quite back in the back. There is the 9 of Marty. He's made quite a jump. Started in the rear. He's already up 4 spots now, as he's got the 2 of RJ Smitty on his bumper there. Ghost is going to slot Glow slots right down there in the 3rd spot. As Go With The Flow, we talked about him, started 6th, he's up to 4th right now. As Stuart Haas looking like they are ever closer. Obviously a lot of laps to go because we just started duel number 2, but possible to get this 1, 2, 3, 4 start still in the books.
And the 9 car starting all the way in the back is already up in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, huge jump from Marty there. As he started P10 and he's already up to the 6th spot, so as right now 3 cars behind them that are left alone. The 12 of Taddy.
He's also right behind his teammate as also too.
For sure. I mean, we're right now we're seeing teammates at their finest right now. Obviously, the 2 Joe Gibbs cars, they're separated by a mile. Same thing for the 41 and the 4. They're kind of separated right now. But the 21 and the 12, they're definitely separated right now. Is looking at that, the 12 is right now running in the last spot or in the 10th spot. So not much room for these guys. I mean, I still think 7 on 3. I don't think they're going to get up there, but Big D right now looking in control of this thing. As we're going to ride on board with the 19 car here. It's something that we saw in duel number 1 that AK was doing, and Taddy kind of brought this to my attention. Well, I mean, I knew it was a thing, but when you're the 3rd car in line and the front 2 are pushing each other, there's no need for you to push the front 2 cars that are in front of you. You just kind of want to lay back. But the 19, obviously, I think he's going to leave just a tad bit of space between himself and the 21. He's going to get on his bumper here, give him a run. Oh, and he's going to hit the apron!
Oh, and the 19 goes up to the wall.
The 19 goes up to try it a little bit.
He's going to be able to keep it out of the wall. He's going to make contact with the wall again. All the way back to the 7th spot. Goes the 19. Risk and reward there. He's barely gonna. I think he's barely gonna have it. Actually, yeah, he's barely gonna have it.
It looks like he's still there. Yeah.
And right now,
and the back 3 cars are looking like they're getting into a little group there.
Looking at this 41 machine, he's gonna try to. He's trying to hold his line there. As it's a Stuart Haas 1-3 right now, trying to get that 1, 2, 3, 4 starting grid for the 500. So we're going to take one quick look back at the back of the field, see if anybody's sorted it out. They have their stuff sorted out. Not much going to come from that, though. Once again, 7 on 3. Not much going to happen there for Taddy, Kevin Macy, and the 11 machine of TKO. So they just got to hope for a caution. Stuart Haas, though, still a 1-3 right now for them. This FL driver not left the bumper of Big D yet. I'm gonna step out for just 1 second here. If you guys will take over for 1 second, I will be right back.
Oh, ooh, can't see what car that is.
That's gonna.
He falls back in the line. That was the 88 car. Oh, and he's going on the low, and the 41's gonna go out. And the Hendricks cars go right by him. If he falls back in, or if he's gonna be in the back. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna fall back. See if he can get into that draft. And he does.
Oh,
and that 21 goes down low.
Contact with the 9 and the
9.
2 and the 21.
Not yet. The 9 came from all the way from the back and is all the way up to second position all the way. And that 41 hits the wall again.
And I come back, and the 21 and the 41 are now at the back of the pack, and there's Marty up there in second.
Yep, all the way from the back. It goes all the way up there.
19 will get shuffled all the way to the back as well as he hits the apron coming off of 2. That will shuffle him all the way back.
And that 41 did lose the draft.
I mean, that 19 car, he's been struggling a little bit this race. I mean, was running good, up there in the top 3, hit the wall, and then dropped back again, and now he's hit the apron, and he's done it again. So, we'll see if he can get up there. He's learning from his mistakes. He was too low this time, too high the first time. We're going to see if he can correct that. But right now, he's trying to make a move, and I don't know if that's going to be the smartest thing to do. As there's the pit road exit cone, it's all the way up on the back, or the banking of turn 1. Check out how the 41's hanging on there. Not hanging on too well, as he might end up getting swallowed up by the 12, the 8, and the 11.
Whoa.
Oh. Good save by FL there. As right now, your top 5. Big Destroyer, Marty. It's the 2 machine of RJ Smitty. Then it's the 19 of RMK. Or RKM, sorry. And then rounding out the top 5 right now is that 88 machine. If I'm correct, that is going to be the... Alright, well my name list is wrong for some reason. The 88 machine... Alright, yeah, so that was... Alrighty. Yeah, the driver list that I got must have not been exactly updated, but I was, you know, quite updated on a bunch of things, so that could have been my mistake, but I do apologize for that. He's sticking right there on that bottom line like he needs to, not letting anybody get around him. And, I mean, I don't know exactly how many laps have been ran. I don't think that they've made the first pit stops of the day, though. So, I know we're under 19. I think it's 18 to 19 laps of fuel that you can hold in your tank. And right now, all we can do is guess when that 4 car is going to bring his machine in down to the pit lane.
The 19's into the wall a little bit, 88 the contact. Now 19's going to fall into the apron and he's going to fall back. He's going into the pits. Going into the pits. And the 41 will as well, and the 11.
So right now...
Hard time getting into the pit,
oh, FL, right back up to the 3rd spot. As it's a Ford 1-2-3. And a Penske 2-3 right now. As you then have the 88 and the 9, both Hendrick machines, that are going to be slotting out the rest of the top 5. And are we going to have any takers for pit road this time? I think somebody's out of the power. It's the 2 machine. Everybody's coming down pit road all at once. Is anybody going to get caught speeding? The 2 looked like he came in a little bit quickly there. I don't know exactly, though. Maybe not. Could have just been the way that he pulled down.
The 8 is the only one that has not pit yet.
So I'm going to check some comments right here. Got a couple Taddy fans out here in the chat. There's Taddy pulling into his pit stall. As the 2 car is going to be the first car out. As he's going to maintain the lead. Or he's going to gain the lead. Wow, that must have been a 2-tire stop for him. As he's going to fly away from these guys here.
I believe the 8 is out of gas. Coming in the 4 right now. He is creeping. Looks like he'll make it.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna make it, but he did run out of gas.
He ran her completely dry in that Smoky Mountain machine. He's gonna hit those bumps right there.
Then we got the 4. Oh, that's not
The 4 and the 88 right now. Both still rolling. Destroyer's gonna try to take a peek around the 9, but the 88's gonna say, not today, buddy. He's gonna push his teammate.
Now let's see the teammates, yep. This is what we saw in Duel 1, the teammates working together to win the race. Let's see if these 2 teammates are gonna do this.
And we talked about the 2 car, that 2-tire stop. Not helping him too much. He's already getting ran down by these guys.
Yeah, they catch him in that 2 car quick.
Watch the front of this 2 machine coming through the tri-oval. I mean, I can tell just by watching.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. I can tell just by watching from the front of this 2 car, he is getting ran down and ran down quick. They're running his line. I mean, they're definitely getting his draft at this rate.
Most definitely. I mean, 3 against 1. I mean,
right there now.
They'll probably make a move on the high side.
There they go.
There we go.
That 4 car not looking to go though.
There we go.
We got the teammates on that.
So we're gonna see who's gonna get the edge at the line. It's definitely gonna be that 9 machine, as he's gonna lead through the tri-oval. The 4 right now, contact between the 88 and the 4.
There's a lot of side drafting coming into 1 and 2 between these guys.
And they're
right
gonna
here
be
in this
neck
turn.
and neck at a turn 2 on to the backstretch. 9 to the wall!
No.
Contact between the teammates, and I think the
2.
caution's gonna come out.
Oh,
Yeah, he gets hit again.
I think that will bring out the caution, maybe.
Caution is not out yet. They're still green. The 2 and the 4 still in the throttle. I'm
Wow.
surprised that's not a caution.
I'm surprised either. I mean, Deadpool went flying in the air. I really don't know why that's not a caution, but we stay green here.
Yeah, the 2 and the 4 are gone. They got a huge lead right now.
The 88 hard into that outside retaining wall.
And the 9 and the 21 are in that second group there with the 19 trailing a little bit.
I mean, right now it seems to just be a 4 and a 2 show right now. I mean, not looking to try to pass each other right now, just trying to extend that gap that they have over the 9 and the 21, as there's not much they can do right now. I mean, the 19 machine is still back there right behind him, so maybe they can try to get there together. I don't know. 3 against 2 would work, but I feel like that's too much of a gap for them to try to close up.
Well, it was kind of like this in Duel 1, honestly. I mean, yeah.
The 2 and the 4 are really sticking good together.
The 19 of RKM right now getting up there with the 24, the 21 and the 9. Maybe there's a slim chance of hope for them right now.
But that 19 just pulled up on the track.
Well, if the 19 gets in line with the 21 and the 9, they could catch the 2 and the 4, as they're basically a 3-car tandem right now. So I mean, if they get in line and just stay hooked to each other, they could catch that 2-car pack right there up in front.
I mean, they're not showing too much unity right now, though, and as we're going to take a look at the 2 and the 4,
Yeah,
they're
the two
right
and the
now
four,
showing all the unity they need.
Oh, that 4 car is just beating that 2's
You talk about needing to be one and needing to stick together. I mean, that 4 car is definitely sticking to that 2 car's bumper.
Definitely.
definitely gaining
The
time.
19 is just, if he gets in line with the 21, I think they could catch him. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, they just got to stick with each other and just stay in line and be consistent on these next few laps. Because if not, they're just going to keep pushing away on that interval.
Yep, for sure. But that 2 and that 4 are definitely pulling away as of right now.
Without a doubt, honestly, yeah. But I mean, the 9 and the 21 and the 19, they're trying, but
They're just all, that 19's all over the place.
yeah.
It keeps going up and back down. Yeah, they're not sticking like the 2 and the 4.
And I mean, right now, these 3 cars, I mean, they're starting to get together. They're starting, 21
21's
hit that apron spot right there. I mean, they're gaining little by little, but it's not going to be enough. I can't stress this enough. I mean, there's a 3-car tandem. I think, are they ahead of or behind? Take a look behind them here. They're actually right now about to hit the backstretch, so they're actually way off from where the leaders are, as they're right now coming down into turn 1. But in my opinion, I just don't think that there's any way that they're going to be able to get to those 2. I mean, they're staying glued.
Yeah, unless the 3-pack can stay glued to each other, they're not going to gain any ground on them.
Well, if they stay hooked up, I mean, they're catching little by little, but you know, just they got to just stay in line with each other. They stay in line with each other, they could catch that pack.
We know they have to make at least one more pit stop.
Yeah, strategy's going to come into play in these next few laps, so it's
I mean, the question really is, which one of these teams is going to be the first to come down the pit lane? Which right now, I'm going to change my camera here, and I'm going to look at from the 2's front bumper. Right now, I'm going to do a couple laps. Every couple laps, I'm going to look at that distance, see if it's gaining.
in pit road right now.
See exactly what he's going to take. What he's going to take as he's going to come out of the pit lane here. What is the 41 car going to take on his pit stop?
.21 drop back. He might pit. Maybe, I don't know, but
14-second pit stop from the 41 as far as I counted.
21 and the 19 are working together, so they're kind of inching on that interval with the 4 and the 2. So
Gap is closing little by little.
My thing is, though, is that might be a difference maker, considering the fact of these guys still got to pit. So, you know. Oh, yep, here comes the 4 and the 2. They're going to come down as well with them, as Marty's not going to do that. But, oh, the 2 missed. I think the 2 missed pit road, maybe. No. Oh, he didn't miss
Made
pit
it
road,
just
but
barely.
he might have gotten a spinning penalty because of that. Maybe. I don't know. But probably not. So, yeah, two's gonna go in pit road and get some 4 fresh tires and 2 cans of fuel, and possibly maybe a different strategy here. But two's out, and so long as along with the 4, so 19 and the 21 also got out as well. So my guess is these guys, since they're spread out, I'm thinking the 19 might back off a little bit for the 21, so they could get that draft, or basically that 2-car tandem, because I have a feeling that the 2 and the 4 are going to kind of, work together. So the 19's got to figure out a game plan for the next, I'd say about, I don't know how many laps we got here, but the remainder of this race, I mean, they've got to figure out a game plan, because once the 2-car and the 4-car hook up, I mean, it's all over. But I just don't know if it's gonna really be it. So
I mean, the 2 and the 4 car, they are definitely about to get hooked up for what looks to be the final stint of this race. And the 9 and the 19, they're not hooked up quite yet, and I don't think that they're going to be hooked up in enough time. Is the 19 possibly sliding down in front of the 9? That's what it looks like.
if the 9 hooks up with the 19, I think the 19 and the 9 might get up there with the 4 and the 2 by the end of this race, and then go from there, basically, as the 19 kind of hits the apron coming off the front stretch. So
him hitting the apron, and if they slip up a little bit, it's not going to be easy for them.
yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's going to be a kind of the same situation that we saw a little bit ago with the 19 and the 9 and the 21. They 3-car tandem, but the problem is the 21's about 2.5 seconds back, maybe less than that, but they can't back the car down a little bit so the 21 can get down, because then they'll just lose that interval on the 4 and the 2. So it's basically up to the 9 and the 19 to see if they can work and to get up to the front here. But like y'all said, like y'all said earlier, I mean, you got to be hooked, and to get to that pack that's been showing really good strategy and teamwork, as I don't think they're on teams, but it's been quite basically the strategy that is at restricted plates is teamwork and fuel strategy and stuff like that, just like we talked before the race in our pre-race show. So I mean, it all depends. You never know, caution may come out, possibly, not 100% possible, but I think the 19 and the 9, they just stay hooked up here. I mean, they might or might not catch them, but I mean, you got to take every chance you can at a restricted weight.
And I mean, right now, it's just the 4 and the 2, they have been inseparable all race. I mean, once they got hooked up, they have not separated. RJ Smitty and Big Destroyer, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like they've been the best duo all race. I don't know how many laps we have left, but time is ticking for those 2 in the back, and with the way that the 2 and the 4 are hooked up, I just see, the way that I'm looking at this right now, I'm seeing separation galore between the 9 and 19. Neither one of them running the same exact line. The 19 shoots up, the 9 goes down. So right now, I feel like
that's gonna kill them right there. That's gonna kill them about 2 seconds right there when the 19 went up like that. So Oh man.
If I'm the 9, I'm just gonna try to race the 19 and try to get the 10th starting spot for the 500.
Yeah, that would be my strategy at this point. You know, or you could just keep trying to dig more deeper into the interval. But at this point in the late in the race, I don't think that's possible ever. Well, I don't think it's possibly, you know, going to be done here at the juncture that they're in right now. So, but you know, anything can happen. You know, it's anything can possibly happen at this point. But from the way it's looking, I don't think they're going to dig into that interval between the 4 and the 2.
And, you know, looking at the 4 car, I can see that 8 car right there. Who knows? Maybe they catch him and something might happen.
I don't think we have too many more laps to go here from Daytona in duel number 2. I mean, what a show it's been from the 4 and the 2. And the racing that we saw at the beginning of the duel was actually pretty good. You know, lane changes, a bunch of them. Marty has had a great run. I mean, started bottom of the duel lineup, and right now he's running P4, looking to take P3 from the 19 if he can get a run on him. But I do believe we're coming pretty close to the end of the race. If not, I will be surprised.
Most definitely. We're just itching lap after lap away until the race is declared, you know, over here at Daytona. So, as a night.
Yeah, we must be coming around near the end of the race.
He's going to try to get some draft off the 8. That wasn't the smartest move that I think I've ever seen. As if this is the end of the race, and it's not, but that was definitely quite a weird line from the 2 car there, as he for some reason tried to get up behind that 8 machine that's a lap down, already going slower, try to get some draft, and I mean it was enough to pull him out of the lane to see if he can get around on the 4. He's going to look low. No lane there. Here comes the 12.
Really
2 Penske teammates.
Yeah. Maybe.
So we're going to ride on board with the 12 car here. What's he going to do?
Yeah, they're inching closer and closer on these laps. I mean, you can tell by the aggression of what is going to play out in these next few laps here. Even if there is a few laps, I don't know. But I think the 2 and the 22 are going to try to work with each other here, trying to get around the 4 of Destroyer here.
The 2 car, I do believe, has backed off of the 4's bumper. Is he going to take this run? What's he going to do with it? Is he even going to have a run coming off of turn 4? Right now, there's just an even gap between the 2 and the 12 and the 2 and the 4. The 2's going to get right up to that 4's bumper. Is he going to take it to the outside? Not quite. And that's going to be the end of the 2 cars race, I think.
I don't know. I mean, if the 2 car gets in line with the draft right here, I mean, he might get him. I don't know if this is the last lap or not, but the 22 and the 2 work together. I think they could potentially may get back up to the 4. Who knows?
Back there too. If they can get the 3 of them. Got enough laps.
I mean, they got 3 cars.
It is all over the place though.
The 12's going to give the 2 a hell of a shot. All this 2-car wants right now is the playoff point and to be able to start in the 4th spot for the 500. Right now, the 4 has 2nd locked up. So right now, the 2, he can finish right here, right where he's running, and still get the 4th spot in this Daytona 500 starting lineup. However, if he can pass his 4 car, he's going to get a playoff point. Oh, the 12!
Contact. And the 8 is the 2. That's going to open up for the 19.
That is the race. The 4 car is your winner for duel number 2. As it's going to be a 1-2-3 starting grid for Stuart Haas. Pretty successful speed weeks for them so far. We're going to wait to get the official results here, and then we're going to read them off to you spot by spot here. And we're going to get the top 3 in, and we're going to have some driver interviews. So we're going to find out who winner.
The 2 ended up falling all the way to 4th place with all that. The 19 and the 9 were able to sneak by him.
The 22 blew a tire coming into 3 on the final lap there.
What a finish. So we're going to hopefully... So who's going to finish? Go ahead and get some of these guys in here. So your winner is going to be Destroyer. And I do believe it was Marty who was in the top 3.
Yep, Marty ended up finishing P3.
So I can invite Destroyer if you guys can suggest the other 2. Actually, I think I can get RKM. As he finished in the 2nd spot, didn't he?
Yep.
Alright, so RKM, your 2nd position finisher there. And then if somebody can invite Marty.
Yeah, I just invited Marty.
Alrighty. So we're gonna go ahead and do Marty first here once I get him in here. And we're gonna start with 3rd and work our way up to the winner here. All right, let's get Marty in here. Alright, so Marty's been invited, so whenever he pops on in here. For the time being, until Marty pops in here, let's go ahead and move on to our 2nd place finisher. Cody, you want to take this one over?
I'll let you do it, buddy. I'll let you do it.
Alrighty, we got the base game there. So RKM, a decent run for you today, bud. You found yourself constantly in the top 5. Fell back a couple times after some small mistakes. So
Yeah.
you're going to be starting, I do believe, 4th in the 500.
I believe so. Yeah.
So, 4 starting spot. That's got to be pretty convenient for you, and got to have a lot of confidence going in that 500.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I feel bad for RJ though. I didn't have enough to catch up to him. They were pulling away from us, but he got cut up with some lappers there at the end. Felt bad for him, but second place is second place, right?
Of course, and one thing that we saw you and the 9 car doing, you guys worked together pretty well, and you tried to close that door, but couldn't quite close it. But you tried your best, and at the end of the day, how do you think if you and the 9 have to be allies, which you guys are going to be starting on the same row, right next to each other, so.
Well, we kind of are allies in Xfinity.
Yeah, so you've got to feel kind of
too bad to him.
got to feel pretty good.
Absolutely.
All right, well that was our second place finisher, RKM, and still no Marty. So I guess we're gonna move on to the man of the hour. So Destroyer, pretty impressive showing from you there. I mean, you took the lead. You didn't look back. You and the 2 of Smitty. I mean, you guys put on quite a dominant showing.
Yeah, we had our cars hooked up pretty good. Me and RJ are on the same team in a different league that we're in, so we're used to running with each other. So it just felt like home, us 2 running together.
So
It looked like you guys had magnets on the front and rear bumpers of those cars because you guys did not separate that whole race. You think that really helped out with everything?
Oh, absolutely. I only had one issue. My tape was a bit too high when I was pushing him. I was getting too hot, so luckily there was a pit stop coming soon. I didn't start overheating the engine, so I could lower the tape a little bit. But yeah, I think I was probably 4 or 5 laps in a row where me and him were nose to tail the whole time, so it's pretty good.
I mean, we talked about chemistry and the way that you kind of have to have somebody allied with you at Daytona if you want to succeed. And you talked about you and Smitty. You said that it felt like home to be able to work with him. So you guys obviously have to feel pretty confident in the 500. I mean, even though he did have that issue, if you guys get hooked up at the 500, do you think you're going to have a good shot of possibly getting a 1-2 in the thing?
Oh, absolutely. That'd be great. You know, and then my teammate Tuing with the number 14, he's starting on the pole next week, and then Jay Hyper in the 10, he's going to start 3rd. Just unfortunately, couldn't get Flo up there. He got wrecked early, so I couldn't get him up there. But other than that, Stuart Haas starting 1, 2, 3 for the 500, so pretty excited.
Very impressive. Anybody else have any more questions?
Good showing, man. Good run.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, guys, from everybody here at the Giggity Cup Series, we appreciate you guys from tuning in. This is going to be the end of the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.